Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another review for Good Girls, Season 4, Episode 15. We're even. I do apologize that these reviews are so late. As you can see, we're in a hotel room. I'm in a different location. We're visiting my husband in Baton Rouge. He works out here. And we decided to come on down and spend the week with him as opposed to waiting on him to come back home for the weekend. So, because it's the last week of the summer break for my children. They go back Tuesday. I'm so excited. Anyway, let's get to the review. Okay, Jim Jones is at home. His son ain't listening to him as usual. He's telling him to turn off the game and get ready for school. And the child is like, no. He said, his mama say he ain't got to go to school because she come in and say, oh, I told him he could skip. It's his half birthday. He like, oh, it's my half birthday. Do I get a gift? No. Well, mama say yes. So I guess that's what it means. Yes, because she running things over there. He's at work and he gets a phone. It's like he works at like a cell phone store or something like that. I'm gonna say like a Verizon or something. And his coworker comes in and brings, I guess she, got the coffee orders for everybody, and she got his order wrong. And he's automatically annoyed with her. I guess people just don't respect him. Women just don't respect him. And I can see why he has such a disdain for, women in general. Anyway, he calls, I guess, I don't know who he was calling, but he got on the phone and said he needed to check on this or track a stolen phone. And the name he gave was Bolin Elizabeth. Okay, so Ruby and Stan, they're at the house, and he's trying out one of the products on Sarah. And Ruby is looking all puzzled. She's like, who got you in this? And just as soon as she says that, they get a knock at the door, and it's Dean. Dean is who has him involved in the cult. And Dean and Stan sit down, and Dean pulls out this key. I don't know what the significance of the key was because I didn't recognize it or anything, but he sat it on the table and was like, share, brother. And so Stan is just like, listen, I had to. I had no choice. Like, they were going to drag Ruby into this. And Dean is like, I've known you 30 years. You could have talked to me about it. Either way it goes, now I guess they're on one accord, I guess. And on the way out, Dean tells him that they're all he has. Still, I don't know what the significance is of that key. I don't know. Annie, she's in the throes with Kevin, so now that they a couple, they've been hunching nonstop. And she ready to go try it in the closet. I guess they done been all over the apartment. And she wants to go in the closet. He's, needing a little break. Got to give his little peen a break. And he starts, he casually brings up relationship, and she's just like, excuse me, why we going down this road? Wrong road. Sis say, I don't do the title thing. I don't do the label thing. So don't even come at me talking about, are we dating? Like, nah, we doing something, but she don't want to call it dating. And he's like, so you don't want to date, but you don't want to not date, and you don't want to not date. I guess I get it. I guess he's just like, as long as you exclusive to me and I'm exclusive to you, I guess we can be cool. Beth is in a meeting with Councilman Brother Cousin, and they're reading off her statistics, the poll numbers and all of that, and he's bringing, telling her where her strengths are and what she can work on. And they also add that the women love her in red. When the assistant leaves, Brother Cousin talks to her and pulls out this, he tells her that she has to play by the rules, because initially Beth is like, she don't like the color red, and he's like, well, you gonna like it today. You got to play by the rules, got to play the game, or else otherwise, we can't do what we want. And then he pulls out this map, or like this huge blueprint of a rec center that he wants to build. And because his thing is putting up stuff all over the place, and that those are front businesses, or or developments or whatever. And he's still working on this. He want a rec center. Beth, Ruby, and Annie are now meeting with the Secret Service duo. And, they're telling him, listen, this is the epicenter for crime. We got laundering here, laundering there, washing money here, printing money over there. Like, we got a whole thing in this rec center. And Secret Service duo are like, okay, and we need a warrant. Can you get a warrant? I can't get a warrant. We on vacation, remember? So then Annie is like, are you asking us to break the law? He's like, is it gonna be a problem? Is that gonna be too much to ask? Ain't y'all been committing crimes? And so they got to go into the city hall and try to get what they can get so that they can get a warrant. And they making them go ahead and do that. She say, think of it as you doing me a favor, bitch. She looked right at Beth. Beth already know what's up. Annie is picking up, she's picking the lock. She's picking a lock. And then we see that she's breaking into Beth's house. And she busts in, time! And they like, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I can do better. Be right back. So she go back out to try. While Ruby and Beth are still in the house, Ruby is telling her that, she wants them to get together for dinner on Thursday. And she's like, won't that be weird? And she's like, I mean, not if you bring Deans. Stan loves Deansy, so Deansy. Anyway, she say Stan and Dean, they friends. And so they could be the buffer between Beth and Stan, because we all know how Stan feels about Beth. And while they're talking, Annie busts back in, time! And they like, it was shorter than the last time because they wasn't really recording. I mean, they wasn't really, they didn't set the timer. They got to figure out how they're going to get in the building. And, so now they're going to start brainstorming. Ruby suggests that Beth uses her hoo-ha on Bruzin, because we calling him Bruzin now and not brother cousin. I'm going to call him, your mama named you brother cousin? I'm going to call you brother cousin. Beth says she can't use her hoo-ha because, he's going to know it's her after the fact. And so they're worried about, how they're going to get in at night. And so Annie says she going to use her hoo-ha. So now we see Annie. She's at the building, knocking on the door, and the security comes to the door and she tells him that she really has to pee. And he's just like, okay, come on in. So he lets her in. Annie goes up there and goes to the bathroom, and then she lets Beth inside. And then they both go in there. Ruby's on watch, and Ruby in there being real. I guess she trying to, make it fun, like she said, but she on there being real childish, talking about he's on the move, 10-4, over and out. And they like, girl, all you got to say is he on the move, because she on there like, the horse has left the stable. What? The horse has left the stable. I'm just trying to make it fun. Girl, no, just say security on the move. Security is on the move. And then, we going to understand that. They hear this, I don't know if somebody opened the door, closed the door, or what, but they hear this noise. And they think that it's security, so Annie gets back on. So what's the security? Stilo. And she say he's still, sitting at the desk eating Kit Kats. And so they going about their business. I don't know who that was at the door, closing the door, whatever, but somebody was in there. Annie has to run, of course, because now security is up looking, going to see about her. And she got to run. So she leaves Beth in there, to figure it out, because they couldn't get in the room. When she does unlock the door, it unlocks, but it doesn't open. Then they figure out they got to use a key card because it's one of those doors. And so they looking around for a key card and maybe the assistant's desk or something. Nobody has a key card. All they found was some gift cards. And so when Annie leaves and heads to the car, so does Beth. And when they get back in the car, they don't have nothing. Ruby's like, okay, what we gonna do? Beth say, I got a gift card here for Chili's, $10 off. Oh, cool, I could use a mark. Annie says she could use a margarita. Ruby gets home from Chili's, and she's trying to convince Stan, to hang out with the Bolins. And he's like, I ain't going to Chili's with the Bolins. You going. She said, okay, well then that's fine. They can just come here because we having dinner with the Bolins. That's happening. Annie, she gets up, she's smelling food. She smells this Mexican omelet, and Kevin is in there throwing down. He's naming off all of his ingredients, and she's like, a little chorizo, a little cheese. What else you put in it? Yes, onion, spinach. All right. Go on and make me one. And he put his on the plate and go sit down. And she's like, wait, where's mine? Oh, the ingredients are right there. But you usually make it from, oh yeah, when we was roommates, when we was a thing, yeah. That's when I was doing that. But seeing as though I ain't your man, I ain't finna just be getting up making you omelets. But there go the ingredients. Do your thing. Get your life, girl. She's sitting up there looking cheap. Because she ought to know you can't play around with people like that. Women who are like that bother me. Men and women who are like that. But there are a lot of women like that. That, have that, that male energy. That big dick energy where it's like, I don't need no title. I'm fine with just smashing and letting that be that. But don't you go and don't let me find you with somebody else. And it's like, that's not fair. You don't get to stake your claim on somebody that you're not exclusive with. You go, people. If you want exclusivity, is that a word? I think it's a word. If you want to be exclusive, monogamous, all of that, then yeah, you can't be dibbling and dabbling. You do have to put a title on it. You gonna have to do that. Otherwise, the lines are blurred and somebody gonna feel like they can dibble and dabble. And I know you don't want that, Annie. So Annie need to get that together. Beth and Ruby, they're at he also was on a dating site. He had put himself back out there and he was, telling her about the algorithms and all of that. And she was sitting there with her wheels turning. So she going on over there to Beth and Ruby are at Ruby's house. She busts in there. We've been using my hoo-ha all wrong. Sarah in there like. So Annie's bright idea was to put herself on a dating app. And so the guy that she meets up with is brother cousin's assistant. Excuse me. And so she meets up with him. He's a complete douchebag, and it just an asshole. Annie tells him that she's cold. And he's like, oh, you should have brought a jacket. And he's sitting up there with a jacket on. So chivalry dead in his mind. Because your natural reaction, sir, when you on a date is to give sis your coat. Anyway, she basically got to beg for the damn jacket and he gives it to her. And she's trying to feel around and she feels, that he got his wallet is there. And so she says she's going to go get them some more shots. Meanwhile, she taking herself, back over there to the city hall to get in that building. She uses the same ruse that she used before that she got to pee. And the man is like, girl, you had to get that checked. You gonna have to go see a doctor about that bladder. And so now she got it down pat. She run in there, unlocks the door, uses the key card, and she's out of there. Beth, gets in. She looks around, looking at, looking for documents, that sort of thing, looking in the file cabinet, and she lays it all out on the table and just takes pictures of everything. Annie, she runs back to her date. And of course, he got an attitude because she's been gone a while, but she makes him feel better when she says that she was at the valet asking if she could leave her car overnight, if you get my drift. And he's like, okay, let's take some more shots. Out of nowhere, Kevin walks up. And Kevin is like, oh, so what's this? And the guy is like, oh, no, sorry, sir, we don't have no spare change. He think he homeless because Kevin walking around with his cart again. Dumpster diving. And Annie is like, oh, this is my roommate. And he was like, oh, we back to that. Okay, cool. Ruby, she's in the car, trying to give Beth a heads up that the security guard has gotten up and he's on the move. Then we see these feet walking towards the car. We don't see who it is right then in that second, but Ruby knows who it is. Beth, she gets back in the car and she's like, I got all the tea on brother cousin. I got names. I got all of this stuff. And then she hears this voice in the back seat and it's Jim Jones. So Jim Jones is the person that was walking up to the car. He's there to blackmail them because that's what he does. Y'all gonna sell all of my products all over the city, or I'm telling everything that I know because he knows everything. Annie and her date, they're now a few shots in and a few drinks in. And, Annie and Kevin are talking. They end up talking. And, she's lying to him, not being forthcoming. I don't know why she feels like she can't. I mean, everybody else knows y'all's business. So why not let him in? Dean knows, Stan knows. Now you got a new man, fill him in. I don't think that Kevin would have judged in any way. And I also don't think that he would use it against her, not like Stan and Dean. But she lies, and tries to play coy about things, talking about something that's her co-worker and all of that. Then he can't, the date comes outside and he's, wondering what's going on. And he's like, I mean, we only met today, so I mean, if y'all are a thing, I ain't trying to come in between nothing. And so now it's like, oh, you said that was a co-worker. Oh, you met him where? On Bumble, Tinder, Backpage, one of them. And he's like, oh, okay, that's okay. You can have her. She's all yours. So Kevin's done. Beth, she gets, this is when she gets back in the car and all of that. And Jim Jones, I skipped that. So sorry, guys. Annie, now she's back in there with her date. They done took all the shots, drinking beer and all of that. Now they really opening up. And he opens up and tells her he gay. He's like, my profile's a whole scam. It's a scam. It's a scheme that Todd set up for me to come to y'all with this bullshit. Because I ain't even into women. He's into men. And, he does this. And he's overtly, a womanizer. Only because his dad doesn't know. And, he has to keep it up. So now they're going to take a few selfies. I apologize for the douchebagness that I'm about to exude in these pictures, but I gotta lay it on thick for daddy. Beth gets home and Dean in there keying, and Beth like, how could you? And Ruby, she get home and she got heat for Stan. How could you? She has a family, she got kids. Like, why would you do this? And he's like, oh, what about your kids? What about your family? Beth, of course, I mean, not Beth. Yeah, Beth, and back over there, Beth and Dean, Dean is like, it wasn't like that. So what was it like? Both of them getting on their husbands for running to Jim Jones and telling all the business. And Beth is like, he don't even want you in the situation. Like, he did all of that to get to me. Because now I got to sell all this bullshit, excuse me, y'all. Now I got to sell all this bull in, in the city. Or else he's going to tell on everybody. And so Dean's sitting up there looking cheap. Now I guess he done realized, oh, wait a minute, I done got gooped. Yeah, you did. You got gooped. Stan, of course, is still being judgy because he a judge. And Ruby like, oh, I didn't know I married a judge. I didn't know. I didn't know, is there a jury around? Like, I didn't know that we were doing this. I didn't know that we were in court. I didn't know. And he, he always tries to guilt trip her. Like, you don't even feel bad about it. No, we don't. Ruby said, because we deserve it. We deserve. And they do. They're not hurting anybody. If they were running around here, bang, bang, shoot them up, beating people up, robbing people, if they were doing that, then yes, that's morally corrupt. But making some counterfeit money, washing some money, nah. I think I could do that. I think that I wouldn't be opposed to that type of crime life because it doesn't cause for violence. Maybe maybe if you are, the person in charge, but actually doing it or whatever, like, I feel like, they all right. Damn. Back at City Hall, Annie's date, he lying to brother cousin about his wild night with Annie. And brother cousin is distracted because he's looking around for his file cabinet key. And the assistant looks around too. They looking in drawers, and he finds it in another drawer, not the drawer that it's normally in. And brother cousin is just, I ain't put it here. He's like, maybe you didn't remember. No, I ain't put that key in there. Then we see him showing a picture of Annie and the assistant to Rio. And Rio is having a good laugh like, nah, that ain't no date. That ain't no date. I think you got played, brother cousin. Jim Jones, he at home trying to get his son to put down the game again. Put down the game. You have a book report. And the boy like, I'll do it later, Dad. Then his wife come in there with groceries. And he's like, did you get the almond milk? Oh, no, I didn't get almond milk. I got oat milk. It's much healthier. And so, of course, you know, that's ticked him off as well. They're steady just paying him no respect. And finally, he ends up seeing one of Beth's flyers. And he asked her, where'd you get this flyer? And she's like, oh, isn't that your, you know, your new friend's, isn't that his wife? I'm rooting for her. I really hope she wins. And he's looking at it like, I hope she wins too. And, then all of a sudden now he got some, you know, he ballsy now. Cause he go over there and stands in front of the TV, like, turn this off and go do that book report. And then the boy like, Mom, tell your husband to move. And she's like, move, Jim Jones, get out of his way. And then Jim Jones say, oh, okay, y'all want to try me? He take that console, rips it out the wall and throws it in the trash, then takes that oat milk and pours it on top of that and is like, book report, nil. And so everybody's like, oh, I see he ain't playing now. So now everybody is, you know, on the move. They listening now. Beth, she drops by brother cousin's office with a t-shirt, and he asked her to have a seat, and she's, you know, uh-oh, am I in trouble? And then he goes and gets these, you know, things out of the file cabinet. He has it all boxed up, and he's like, oh, this is all the stuff you was looking for last night when you was here last night. And she's like, last night? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, he ain't stupid. And she's like, what happens now? Like, is there going to be somebody in my bedroom with a gun in my face in the middle of the night? And he's like, that ain't my style. You know, my style is more so like getting, you know, making phone calls and stopping shit, you know, moving stuff along, you know, like your husband's case that is pending right now. Like he's, you know, he might go to jail. Yeah, we can make that happen. Or your sister with priors. We can make her, we can get that going too. Or your friend who ain't got the money for tuition. Yeah, that's just a simple phone call to block that. That's what I do. So those were, you know, a few threats, and they weren't empty threats. I'm sure Beth understood exactly what he was trying to say. But you know, he's like, I can't let you go that easily. You know, you got too much work to do for me. Secret Service duo, they looking through all of the stuff that Beth found, and they're like, none of this ties back to him. None of it. Like, so what we supposed to do with this? Like, we can't do nothing with none of this because it don't tie back to Rio and it don't tie back to brother cousin. Back to square one. Annie gets home and her apartment is empty. So yes, Kevin has packed his bags. Then we see Dean. He drops in on Stan to drop off the coleslaw that they were gonna bring to the dinner. And Dean just jumps on him and hugs him. And they like, I'm so sorry. I know, man. I know, brother. I know. We was in a cult, wasn't we? You were. And then Dean is like, let's take down the brotherhood. You down to take down the brotherhood? Stan is down. I'm down too. Beth, she home washing the dishes and she gets a knock at the door. And it's Rio. So Rio done went from showing up in her backyard. She just washing dishes and got to look up and he in the backyard. To she washing the dishes and look up and he in the kitchen. So now he's knocking. He's listening. He's paying attention. He tells her, you know, if you need anything, darling, just ask. Rio. She's like, he's your brother cousin. Well, brother cousin, he's family. And he's like, no, he's in our way, you know, because they our now. He's in our way. And that's where it ends out. Let me hurry up and do episode 16 so that I can get this stuff saved, edited, uploaded, all of that good stuff. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me BuzzFeed, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.